you ready? Good evening. I'm calling the City of South Lebanon's regular meeting of council to order.
Allen,
Present.
Carmack,
Present.
Combs,
Present.
Better,
Present.
Harrison,
Present.
Spicer.
Present.
Thank you. Could you all please rise for the prayer and the pledge? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and the blessings you have bestowed on South Lebanon and our citizens. Help us to strengthen our community and let us work together for the good of our community. Let the work we do be acceptable in your sight. Help us to make wise decisions that respect all. Protect our first responders. Please keep them safe as they go about their missions. Thank you for the staff and council. We ask for your protection of our nation, and we pray for our leaders and citizens. Thank you for the great gift of this nation. In your holy name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Well, Troy's not here yet, so I'll fit him in as he comes in. But I will open up the floor to the public for anyone who wants to speak.
Steve Spanian, 584 Pauline Drive. I was here last meeting. I really don't want to become a permanent fixture in these meetings. I expressed my concerns at the last meeting about the sinkhole that was developing, and I was just speaking to the mayor right now, and she said government moves slowly. Unfortunately, the sinkhole is not moving slowly. A second one has developed. It's right now about this big. I imagine in 2 weeks it'll be this big, because that's how fast it moved last time. And I filled it in already, and it's happening again. So whatever the underlying reason is, it continues to happen. I gave all the information to Chase about the easement that's going on deed, and hopefully we can look into this and get somebody come out and scope it and find out where this problem is. Barry says I guess the material they have or the equipment you have can't get past the gravel and dirt that's in the pipe. You couldn't get more than 6 feet from the manhole cover, which only takes you to the middle of the street. So there's a whole another 15 feet before you can get to my property line. And then there's the right of way. Where in the right of way is where you did the work 3 years ago. That obviously has, not obviously, to me, has failed. I don't know. That's what I want to find out. I can't have someone private come in because it's public utilities. And I have to get someone to come from sewer department to come there at the same time, and I think that's your responsibility to find out where this problem lies. And hope that we can expedite, because I haven't heard from anyone. I mean, I got an email back from the mayor saying, listen, and I understand things move slowly, and there's other projects going on with Public Works now with the roads. But I just try to get this repaired before this really starts to affect my foundation, because the second sinkhole is at my house. It's at the foundation of the porch of the house. If you look at the house, the porch of the house is a big cement structure. So that gets undermined. That's going to take the whole porch down, and then so. Thank you.
Thank you. And Chase is going to be looking into all of the issues. Okay. Just state your name and address.
Hi, I'm Colleen Sheeter. I am on Mill Road in Lebanon. Barely in Lebanon. My husband is going to talk to you a little bit about issue 10, ballot issue 10. But I'd like to make you aware of an email that was sent out to all of the students at Kings High School. And I'll just read it to you. It was sent by a student using school property using school resources on school time. And I'll read it to you and then I'll talk to you a little bit about it. Tuesday, November 4th is Election Day. In order to encourage our community to get out and vote, we will be launching a reverse trick-or-treating event on Halloween night. Instead of receiving candy, we will be going door to door, handing out candy and voting information to local community members. If you are interested, please go to the Google form above and sign up for our neighborhood. If you gather a group of friends, this should not take a long time, leaving plenty of time for personal Halloween activities. We want this to be as impactful as possible. So if you are willing and able to participate, we would very much appreciate it. In case you are unaware, there is an operating levy on the ballot, issue 10. This will directly impact the way school looks in the future. For example, if it does not pass, here are some things at stake. And it goes on to list a few things, and I will address a couple of those. Here is my concern. Number one, it's entirely possible that sending this email was actually illegal. There is a statute against using school property and school resources to campaign for any kind of ballot issue or levy. So that is a possibility. Second of all, this refers to issue 10 as a levy. It is absolutely not a levy. It is an earned income tax that is very different. A levy gets levied against your property taxes. This will be an income tax. This will affect even the students who have jobs. So I am not entirely certain that the student who sent this out even understands that. Then it goes on to talk about some of the things that might be eliminated. One of the things, no high school credit courses for 8th grade. These are all things that could happen if the issue does not pass. These are not necessarily things that have to happen. Increased class sizes, elimination of Beach Acres mental health therapy support in each building. That is not necessarily true. There's a number of elimination of busing for grades 9 through 12. That may not be true. In addition, we don't know if there's been any creative look into things like carpooling for the students, organized carpooling that maybe the school could help with. We are building a brand new parking lot that they demanded that our students needed because we didn't have parking for all of the students in the high school. And I'm sorry, I didn't prepare well for this, but there are a few programs that the school has been talking about eliminating or possibly eliminating. And I'd like to talk about a few of those. Daycare, summer camps, and what's the other one? Oh, preschool. So those three things the school has told us cost $165,000 a year. And the way the school has been presenting their issue is that those could be eliminated. And I don't understand why we're talking about eliminating those instead of making them fully self-funded. The school had told us that they were self-funded to begin with. Now, what I get frustrated by as a community member is when I give my tax dollars, I want to make sure that every single community member has access to it. When you are talking about daycare, summer camp, and preschool, those are already at least mostly tuition-based. That eliminates a number of our community members from even participating in those programs because they cannot afford it. So if my tax dollars are supporting that, even partially, then my tax dollars are only supporting people who can already afford the tuition, and I find that very frustrating. So, but mostly I wanted to let you guys know, more importantly, anybody who might be listening at home know check your kids' computers, make sure you know what they're receiving in their emails, and just maybe talk to them about what this income tax could mean to you, their parent. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
State your name and address, please.
Sure. My name is Scott Sheeter. My address is Mill Road. As my wife said, we have a Lebanon mailing address. I do want to address issue 10. As you can tell, there's already confusion. Is it a levy? Is it an income tax? There are two components. The first component is a 1% earned income tax. That's on if you have wages, salaries, if you're self-employed, and that's for kids, seniors. There's no age, there's no income floor, there's no income ceiling. So this hits everybody with earned income. And the second, and as part of that, you do have to file an Ohio school district income tax return each year. That's just a little bit more paperwork for people. Is it a big deal? Who knows for sure. But the second piece is a 1 mil reduction in the real estate tax. For the average homeowner, that's probably $130 to $145 a year. Far less than what you would pay as part of the 1% earnings tax. This is not a long-term solution as what it's touted to be. Even with the earned income tax revenue, Kings will be losing money in 4 years. Expenses will exceed revenue. How are they going to fix that? Another operating levy. Well, part of this promise is we're going to cut back on the operating levy cycle and maybe even get rid of it. That's not going to happen. Even by their own projections, it's impossible. And I'll go more to that in a minute. But even if you just look at the millage on the real estate taxes, Kings is the highest in Warren County by far. We are at 32. Mason is at 29. The other school districts are all at the 20 floor. They can't drop any lower. There's 611 different school districts in the state of Ohio. Right now, about 210 have an earned income tax. And one of those is Carlisle, which is in Warren County. They're actually voting this November to get rid of it because the people don't like it. So just think about that a little bit too as we talk about this. We've seen a lot. We've received mailers in the mail from Kings, and the Vote Yes campaign has sent out their flyers too. And they keep talking about this annual property tax review and that they passed legislation. They didn't pass legislation. They passed a school board policy. I think this council knows what legislation is. It has more power than a school board policy. And that policy says if the days cash on hand exceed 128 days in a year, then the superintendent and the treasurer will put together a plan for a potential reduction in real estate taxes. But they have to get to 128 days. Right now, Kings is at about 65 to 70 days. How do you get to 128 days? Even over the years that they have on here, and it's fiscal year 2026 through 2030, the highest in any given year is in fiscal year 2028, and that's 71. Not even close to 128. There will be no real estate reductions. It's impossible according to their own policy, but yet they're touting potential real estate tax reduction. It can't really happen. And what also concerns me is in their example that they put out is a house with a fair market value of $376,000, because that's the average in King School District, but that's not the average in South Lebanon. And the average family income in Kings is $112,107. If you're making that much money, you can't afford a $376,000 house if you had to go out and buy it right now. Not with today's interest rates, the real estate taxes, the insurance. This is going to prevent anybody from moving into Kings or even South Lebanon. You can't afford to buy a house here. So how do you get those younger generations, the people who have the young kids to come here? It's just, it's not going to happen. And I know also part of this, they were trying to appeal to the seniors through a reduction in real estate taxes. And the 1 mil really right now isn't much of a reduction. And then on the earned income tax, again, because they're retired, they have no earned income for the most part, if any. So hopefully that would be an attraction to them, but really it's not to the community as a whole. So I think that's something that we have to think about. And just thinking about the impact to somebody who lives in South Lebanon, this is like the perfect storm if this passes, because you have the 1% tax and then you have the highest real estate taxes in Warren County. How's that that's gonna cripple families with lower income? How do they make things work? Just think that 1% tax for a family that's making $75,000 a year, that's $750. That can buy your Christmas gifts for your entire family. That's gone. How about the senior who has to work because they can't afford food or their prescriptions? They're working, that 1% is vital to them. Now they can't get their prescriptions filled potentially. And even for kids are working because they're trying to save for college, or they're trying to buy books for college. That 1%, that could be a class or two of books that they can't afford now. I don't think we're really thinking about what's best for the community as a whole of Kings versus the school district Kings. So we just really have to watch that. And then renters, they get double whammied here too. People think renters don't pay real estate taxes, it doesn't matter. Real estate taxes are built into everybody's rent. If the real estate taxes go up, your rent goes up. If the real estate taxes would happen to go down, is your rent going to go down? No. There's not a landlord that's going to reduce the rent. So even if we would get a reduction, it's not going to impact them, but they still pay the 1%. And a lot of the renters are people who want to someday buy a house. How are they going to afford to buy a house when they're getting slammed with all these different taxes? It's never going to work. So it's something that I think we have to look into. And then the Kings keep saying, we need more money. Before you ask for more money, Kings needs to undergo a performance audit. That is not a financial audit. It's an audit where they go in, look how the money's spent. Is it being spent in the right categories? Are you following your stated mission? They have never done this. We've asked for this to happen for almost 10 years, and they've always refused to do it, saying we do a financial audit. That audit only proves that you're meeting the accounting standards. You have all your debits and credits right. That's great. And I'm glad they do that, and they pass with flying colors every year. But you can do a performance audit. We actually found a third party who would do one for $30,000. They could save far in excess of $30,000, but they refuse to even entertain the thought. And then we keep hearing now about these potential cuts, that they have to cut $9 million next school year if issue 10 doesn't pass. They have cash reserves they eat into all the time, but they don't want to do it for this purpose. They're trying to scare the people into voting for issue 10. They could wait until at least probably the end of 2027 before they would have to force action. So you can do a levy next year if this doesn't pass, instead of saying we're going to cut $9 million and we're going to cut busing and daycare and all these classes and make you pay for sports and other activities, which some of that may have to happen. And maybe there is somewhere where there can be a meeting in the middle. Maybe there are some reductions and then some increases. But until everybody's comfortable that the money's being spent properly, it's really hard to ask for those benefits. And I know, and then I think what really pertains to this council is some people are saying, well, councils are giving all these real estate tax abatements, and that's why we don't have any money. That's really not true. I've verified this with the Warren County Auditor's Office going into the 2025 real estate tax year, which is 2026 calendar year. there will be 18 real estate tax abatements in the King School District. Only 2 of those are apartment complexes, and one is the Cartridge Brewing
Peter's
Apartments,
Cartridge.
which have been there forever, so that's nothing new. And most of these apartments are 1 and 2 bedrooms. You're not gonna have families there anyway. So those abatements aren't hurting Kings. If anything, having the commercial abatements attracts people to come move here, where they bring their kids, they buy houses, they pay real estate taxes, they pay other taxes. It helps South Lebanon, it helps Kings, it helps everybody. I just want to end again, I just want to thank the council for the opportunity just to come and speak on this tonight. I do think all the voters should go out and do their own research on the issue. And most importantly, everybody needs to go vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else for the open floor, I'm going to close the floor to the public, and then I'm going to ask our guest, this is a revised agenda, Troy from Choice One. Troy and Harry and Troy. Okay.
Okay, you know, we get the mic so that
Yeah,
people in the, okay. If it's not, if it's easier to.
Harry Holbert, Public Works Director, South Lebanon.
speak up or get closer to the mic.
How's that?
Is it on?
I don't think it's on.
Yeah, son.
Okay, Harry Holbert, South Lebanon, Public Works Director. So I've been receiving a lot of information and questions about our pavement program, which I wanted to congratulate Jerry and our engineer here for actually implementing that program. When I first was hired, I was really concerned about things that we would have in place. Things like this program, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal that we have it. It's a big deal that we've hired a professional group to evaluate our streets and to give us a rating system that is recognized throughout the state of Ohio. So when I get questions regarding why is my street not being done and this street is, it's literally based on the rating system that has been given to us. They evaluated all of our streets. They came up with a system of rating. And we've went into that system and basically we go down those streets. Now, the other things that we've done, and Troy's going to go more in depth into the engineering aspect, and you do have 2 handouts. One of them, which Troy will go into, is more of the questions of the whens and the why. It's just a text, it's a numbering system, has several different categories. The second one is our study that we had them perform. It's the color one by Choice One. Okay, so we get questions about, again, why some streets are being done, others are not. How come this is all we're doing is replacing the asphalt, but this street we're actually doing a full depth repair. Morrow's a perfect example. When that was evaluated, there's a lot of things that came into play with the new design. And again, Troy's going to go over those items, but what we're doing now, based off of this rating system, we have a successful program in place where we are literally beginning to make leaps and bounds on our road program. And it's thanks to council because you've approved the funding to go into this. So each year that it wasn't used before I got here, it's now being used. We have completed multiple streets on the list. We did Morrow, which was a total rebuilt infrastructure, everything underneath it, the whole bit. I mean, it was a major job. It actually finished 1 day ahead of schedule, which is phenomenal when you look at what we actually encountered with that road, because you don't see everything. The engineer doesn't see everything. It's a lot of visual inspections. You see what the roads look like. You gather information about it. You might even get some complaints from the residents to say, hey, my bathtub's backing up or my toilet's backing up. And then public works guys, they go out there, they pull the manholes, they try to look and see what's in there. It might be silt or gravel or whatever. Morrow is a perfect example. We had backups, multiple backups. We sent numerous times, we sent our crews out there to evaluate from manhole to manhole, cleaned them. Then all of a sudden, we get the road failing. Well, what we found out is when the cable company came through, they do underground drilling. They know about where the utilities are, but the problem was they drilled right through our sewer main. Now, what that did, as you can imagine, all that sewer and everything now went into other lines. So downstream, when somebody said, I have blockage, when we went out and cleaned it, more silt and gravel and everything that was under our road, which was eroding away, now clogged it up again. So when that failure happened, that was a big black eye for us because we were out there all night. I think we finally left at 4 a.m. in the morning. We had it covered up. We had it repaired. It was a 9-foot deep hole, 9 foot deep, 8 foot wide, 12 foot long. We excavated all that out just so we could get down there and repair the sewer main, a full sewer main. That's what we do. And those guys did a great job. They didn't hesitate. The guy was on call, called everybody, right? We had everybody out there. It was awesome. So anyway, that was one of the first things I saw when I got here. Welcome. So anyway, great time. We got it fixed, but those are the things that this program that all of you have put in place. For me, it's wonderful because now I have a chance to really do my job. Because when my infrastructure, I say mine because I'm the public works guy, right? When it's failing, who fixes it? When it's failing, who gets the phone calls? First we do, and then you do. So if we can minimize those failures, we'll minimize those calls to you also in the middle of the night. But right now, it's just my public works guys that get them at 3 o'clock in the morning saying there's a sewer main or a water main break. So like I said, great applaud to Jerry and to Troy. I'm going to bring Troy up now, and he's going to kind of go over the logic behind that. It's not just the benefits that I've mentioned, but it's a lot of work to get this thing done. And I want him to be here to answer any of your questions. So if you have any questions about this system, he's your man because his group, Choice One Engineering, did the evaluations. They looked at every street that we have, 13 point something miles of streets and roads. And a big one that we just had, and we almost had several guys end up in the middle of a lot of traffic, 48 to Corin Nixon. That area is a mess. So you can imagine the amount of traffic you see on 48. Well, now close down a lane. We had cones, we had signage. We brought the sheriff's department out to help us, which is a little bit of cost because we had to bring in an extra sheriff at overtime. But guess what? It probably saved 4 people's lives because they were out there blowing the streets, sealing the streets, everything we had to do just to do our job safely. And it still wasn't safe because we had 6 people come in through the barricades. And all of a sudden the sheriff saw them right away, stopped them, took care of the problem. So thanks to the sheriff's department because they were able to get somebody to work the overtime and to help us. And that's what we rely a lot on them. Obviously the fire department too, but hopefully we don't need them. They are great presence to us and making sure that we can work safely. Obviously we don't take advantage of that, but with 48 and Corin Nixon, it's pretty busy. With that, Troy Neese, Choice One Engineering, ask him anything. He knows our program inside out.
Not anything.
Does he have children? You know, is he married? Whatever. He's here to answer all of your questions.
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah, just
Thank
a
you.
quick clarification, just that we started this paving program last year under the direction of Mayor Burke. So that's, we just do what we're told. So
Yes, I am married and I do have kids.
yeah. I will say just a quick, we've done more paving this year. I think I mentioned it before, but this year than, you look through town, there's more fresh blacktop than I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just local money, it's intergovernmental funds that we're using to leverage those. So makes our money go a lot longer when you do stuff like that. So
Yeah, so,
back to Troy.
I'm Troy, as everyone mentioned. I work for Choice One Engineering. Thanks for having me. So like Harry and Jerry both mentioned, we pulled together this pavement plan for the city starting last year. And as he mentioned as well, we've been able to incorporate a lot of pavement for the city over the past year. And the plan is to keep that going. But what that does for you, what it mainly does is it extends the infrastructure, the existing infrastructure within the city. The typical lifespan of a roadway before you see major failures is 10 to 15 years. And if you have ongoing maintenance, crack sealing, the mill and fill that you've seen done, that can extend it another 10 to 15 years. So you basically double the lifespan by doing, cost-wise, it's like 10% of a full reconstruction, which is what we did on Morrow. And some of the other roads that got new pavement, per linear foot, it's like 10% of the cost of a full reconstruction. So you get double the lifespan for 10% of the cost, basically. And part of what pulling together the plan helps with, Harry touched on it a little bit, is we pull together based on ODOT's rating system. It's empirical data that you can look at and make decisions on what roads deserve new pavement or crack sealing or full reconstruction, rather than going by vocal, just what you're hearing and making emotional decisions. So we pulled the plan together. We met with the city a few times about it, came up with, here's what we think you can do over the next 5 years based on your budget. Here's 25, here's 26. And what's really nice about it is it's not in the packet, but there's an Excel file that tracks all the ratings, and we can go out again at the beginning of next year, re-review some of the roads and use that data to update it, and then choose what streets get done next year. And also part of that as well is when you go and relook at them again, you can track new failures in the roadway. Like Harry was mentioning, utilities, sometimes you get infiltration and the road falls out underneath from the utility washout. Those are the kinds of things you see when you have this ongoing plan where you can track the data. Jerry touched on it a little bit. Funding opportunities, a lot of them require you to have a paving plan in place like this so that you can go after the money to pave your streets. So that's another benefit that helps with it. Let's see. I talked about the long-term savings, basically doubling the lifespan. But that was most of it. Like I said, it's based on empirical data. We have engineers, traffic engineers that go out and they do this for several municipalities. So it's not emotion-based. It's you go out there, you look at it, and you give it criteria-based inputs, and then it comes up with the rating system, and then you compare it to the other roads. So that's a little bit of what we did. Are there any questions?
Yes. I have one.
Sure.
On Morrow Road, you
Yeah.
narrowed it by 4 feet.
Yeah.
And you put in a tree lawn.
Mhm.
What was the purpose of that? Because it's a truck route.
The primary purpose of that was we have heard from some city, well, Jerry and Harry, that they received complaints about speeding through the city a lot. So traffic calming was one of the primary goals of doing that. So what that does is when you have the narrower corridor, you get vehicles that slow down because it becomes a little bit tighter, and it's still within the guidance, but it becomes a little bit tighter, so you drive a little slower naturally. And especially over there, you get learned behavior. The trucks that are coming into town, a lot of them are repeat truck route right through town. So you get that learned behavior. They go through there a couple times and they get a little bit, uncomfortable with their driving. They're going to slow down. They're going to slow down the next time. They're going to keep slowing down as they come in.
For the record, I hope we don't narrow any more streets.
For the record, I'll take them. Slow down. Very good.
Yep.
Any other questions or concerns? Thank you, Troy, so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We'll see you Soon, I'm sure. Yes, thank you. And Choice One does a great job. And, you know, it's not that we, have to follow that religiously. We can always pivot, you know, if there's problems someplace else. So that's the flexibility that we have, and we have good advice and instruction on what to do, from Choice One. And we all work together very well, and I want to thank you.
Just to give a plug, the Choice One, every year they have in November, the Charity Cup. And I think, I'm not sure when they started, about 10 years ago, maybe. Yeah. So every year they have raised money for the Sweet Cheeks Diaper Bank, which provides diapers to low-income families. You want to go ahead and give the
Sure. I'll give a
shameless
pitch on
plug?
that a little bit. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for the intro. Yeah, we do the Charity Cup every year. I know South Lebanon has attended before. But yeah, like Jerry said, we raise money for Sweet Cheeks, which is the diaper bank in Cincinnati. They didn't exist 8 or so years ago, so our Charity Cup has kind of grown with them. They were started by a wonderful lady named Megan. I can't think of her last name, but she saw the need for the diaper bank because she had heard about it, but she looked into it and Cincinnati didn't have one. So she just started from the ground up. She started her own, and we've been helping them via the Charity Cup. I think last year we raised $12,000, which purchases a lot of diapers. I think last year, just through her office, she shipped out 2 million diapers to the community. And those are free of cost for people in need. I know they do other things besides diapers as well, but it's primarily diapers. So it's a great cause, and if you ever get the chance, you should help them out.
Don't we have a team that's gonna
Yes.
We do,
participate?
yes, we have,
I
Yeah,
thought so.
South Lebanon's been
Jennifer,
great.
you going?
Yes.
Jennifer and
Amy.
Amy
And
and
Keith and Sam?
Melina.
Sam and
Yeah.
Melina.
Yeah.
Yeah, the city's been a great supporter of the cause, so.
So you
Thank
switched
you.
it up. It was bucket ball. Now it's.
It was bucketball, and
that's
we're
golf.
doing some kind of golf game this year, but they haven't told me what it was, because for competitive reasons, I'm not allowed to.
Don't want to bring a ringer in, right? Okay, thank you. So moving on to new business. Emergency Ordinance 2025-21, authorizing supplemental appropriations for fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2025. Is there any discussion or questions? Because we have our Director of Finance right here. Hearing none, I need a motion and a second to waive the 2 reading rule.
Lisa, I will make the motion to waive the 2 reading rule.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen. Carmack.
Yay.
Combs.
Yay.
Better.
Yay.
Harrison.
Yay.
Spicer.
Yay.
Now, a motion and a second to adopt by title only emergency resolution 2025-21.
Brenda Combs, motion made. Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen. Yay. Carmack.
Yay.
Combs.
Yay.
Better.
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Emergency Ordinance 2025-22, amending ordinance number 2013-8, setting an application fee for filing property maintenance appeals. Is there any discussion?
What is it?
I do have a I do have a
It
question.
was in your packet.
So, I did read on there that the person that's on the zoning board of appeals is also going, that's the same committee. or board
BZA.
That's going, BZA, that's going to do the appeals for the maintenance.
That's correct, yes. Yeah, it's, we've adopted the property maintenance code back in 2013, I think. And I think it just was an oversight that we never formally adopted the BZA as the review committee or appeals committee for the property maintenance.
So I will need a motion and a second to waive the 2 reading rule.
Brenda Combs, motion made. Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Now we will need a motion and a second to adopt by title only Emergency Ordinance 2025-22.
Linda Allen, I make a motion to waive the rule.
No, this is to adopt.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm ahead of you. I make a motion to adopt title only.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Moving on to Emergency Resolution 2025-42, adopting Warren County Multiple Jurisdiction Hazard Mitigation 5-year plan. We need to adopt this by emergency because it's a time issue. Are there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I will need a motion and a second to adopt by title only. I mean, to waive the 2 reading rule, I'm sorry. Linda, now you got me confused.
I'm telling you, Linda Allen, I make a motion to waive the rule.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Now a motion and a second to adopt by title only Emergency Resolution 2025-42.
Brenda Combs, motion made.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Spicer.
Yay.
For those sitting out in the audience, I just want to say the reason you're not hearing any questions, or maybe some, is because our council gets a packet to review all of these in depth. And if they have any questions or concerns, they can always call beforehand and get clarification. They're just not rubber stamping these things. I just want everybody to know that.
And all of this information is provided online
yeah.
prior to the meeting.
Yes, they all do their due diligence. Okay, moving on. A motion and a second is needed to authorize the Director of Finance to send an amended certificate to the Warren County Auditor for fiscal year 2025. Is there any discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll need a motion and a second.
Linda Allen, I make a motion to approve.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Now a motion to approve the invoices and a second.
Motion made. Brenda Combs. Lisa Fetter, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
A motion to approve September financial statement and a second is needed.
Linda Allen, I make a motion.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. Now, a motion to approve our law director's invoice and a second.
Brenda Combs, motion made.
Sharon Carmack, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. A motion to approve rescheduling our council meeting date on New Year's Day. Unless y'all want to come on New Year's Day. So when did you want to do that? What were the options? It was the 6th or the 8th, correct?
I'm open on either one. We can either do the 6th or the 8th. The organization will be at 5:30 and then the regular meeting at 6. Either one's good for me.
Well, that's up to you guys.
Anybody else?
Check my schedule.
We'll be babysitting the grandbabies.
Which one would you like, the 6th or the 8th?
Take the six, take the 6th. Let's just do it on the 6th.
That's a Tuesday,
Tuesday.
yes.
Is that good?
And that would make it a bit, it wouldn't be so piled on because the
Next
8th
to
would
the
be,
other one,
yeah.
yes.
So I need a motion to approve the 6th of January, 2026 as our council date, starting at 5:30 with our organizational meeting and 6 o'clock the council meeting.
Linda Allen, I make a motion to approve.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Okay, motion carries, and that is January 6th, 2026. Wow. At 5:30, just make that, we'll remind you, but just keep that in your head. An approval of our meeting minutes if there are no corrections or additions, our regular meeting minutes. If there are no corrections or addition, a motion and a second is needed.
Linda Allen, approve as written.
Marianne Harrison, second. Allen. Oh.
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
Motion carries. We have no old business, but we need to move into an executive session, and I need a motion to adjourn to move into executive session.
Linda Allen, I make a motion to adjourn and move into executive session.
You want to have Chase explain why we're
Yes.
in executive session?
This is, under 121.22 of the revised code to consider the appointment, employment, or compensation of an employee, otherwise known as personnel.
Yeah,
I make a motion to move out of the council meeting and into executive session.
do I need a second for that, or just a voice vote? Or just do it? Okay. Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
motion to move out of executive session.
Linda Allen, I make a motion to come out of executive session and move into regular council meeting.
Brenda Combs, second.
Allen,
Yay.
Carmack,
Yay.
Combs,
Yay.
Better,
Yay.
Harrison. Yay. Spicer.
Yay.
And no action was taken in executive session. So we will return to regular session. And we will start with communications and reports from all of our officials. And all I can tell you is it is very, very, very busy. It's like a whirlwind right now. And I just want to thank the staff, all of the staff, from Jerry to Tina to Harry to all of the staff in here. These people don't get mentioned very often. Karen Woodward, Amy Butler, Melina. I can't remember Melina's last
Warner.
name. Thank you, Warner, and Sam
Fogel.
Fogel. I wanted to say Sam Goody. Those are people, and of course you just met Chad. Those are some of the people that you don't see and hear all of the time, and we don't mention them very often. So I just wanted to mention them and thank them for all their hard work, because there's a lot of things going on, a lot. What else have I got here? There is Halloween, of course, coming up. I don't know if there's a veterans thing. I did want to talk about Veterans Day here. We will do the wreath laying for Veterans Day. I know that's another added extra thing on the calendar, but I think it's important that we recognize it and remember it. And I can't express my deep appreciation for this council enough either, because I think we work together really well. And I know that we have disagreements, but I think we do it respectfully. And my door is always open, and I'm always here to listen and try to understand. And if I don't get the point, just poke me a little more, because I'll eventually get it. Okay. So that's all I have for right now, and I'm going to move on to our Director of Finance, Tina Williams.
Thank you, Mayor Burke. As the mayor mentioned, it is a very busy time right now. We're trying to close the books for 25 and reconcile and make sure everything is in balance before we close 25, along with getting the 26 budget created. One thing I do want to point out that was in your monthly financial report for September. I'm not sure if you're aware, but further back in the packet is the receipt comparison report for the tax office. So year to date, we're at about 2.6, almost 2.7 million in collections. Compared to last year at this time, we were about 2.1. We were down last year. A lot of that had to do with collections on delinquencies last year. We had some staff changes towards the end of the late summer or the fall. So some of those collections weren't necessarily pursued as much as they have been this year. But our budget this year for what we budgeted for revenue in the tax department was 2.575. So we've exceeded our budget by almost 100,000 at this point, and we still have that fourth quarter of the year to get through. So I just want to commend the staff on their hard work and the diligence. As Mayor Burke mentioned, Sam Fogel, Melina Warner, they're doing a tremendous job in the tax office. And with that too, I want to kind of preempt it to let you guys know something that we are thinking about next year is finally getting to be able to pay your taxes online. So we've got e-filing. I think we implemented that maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm not really sure. But since then, people just haven't had the ability to pay online. So, you get all the way to the final step, you've done your return, and now it's time to pay, and we don't offer that. So they'd have to pick up the phone or mail it in. we see a benefit in, let's let them finish the process right there and be done with it. So that is something that we are going to try to have definitely ready for this next tax season. As far as health insurance, we have been, Jerry and the mayor and I have been meeting with Center for Local Government and narrowing down some plans and some options. We will get that information to you soon, sometime here in November, because ideally we would start open enrollment sometime in November so that we can hit that targeted date of January 1. Like I said, we're still kind of gathering, so I will share all that with you sooner than later, but it looks like there's going to be some good cost savings for us and for the employees. And the team that we've been meeting with, they've got a really good support team. That was something that I was really impressed with at our last meeting. I'm like, there's going to be a support team group to help us through this. And even with the future of wellness programs and things like that, incentives for employees, like if you do this, then you can pay a little less in premium or, get some kind of rewards. So there's a lot of, a much bigger program. And that's what we're talking about is becoming a part of a bigger group than our 14 people we currently have. We're just a small little group to some, but when we get into this larger group of 500 employees that are part of this, you get more benefits. So we're real excited to be bringing that, but that'll be probably here sometime in November. And that's all I have.
Thank you. One person I forgot to mention is sitting right here. Jennifer O'Neill. She is another one that's irreplaceable. I think everybody on this staff is irreplaceable. O'Brien. What did I say?
O'Neill, but that's close. It's Irish.
I just made you an O'Neill,
okay.
so, okay. O'Neill, O'Brien, just call me. Anyway, but she's been working on the website and all the little, not little, but all the things that bring it all together. She does the council packets. She corresponds with all of you. So I'd like to see Jennifer added to this list of communications and reports. So Jennifer, do you have anything you want to say?
No. I wasn't prepared.
Okay, we'll give you next time to get prepared, okay? Moving on, thank you, Tina. Moving on to our city administrator, Jerry.
Yeah, just a few things. We got a planning commission meeting scheduled next Thursday at 6. Two items. One is the final plat for they're calling it the reserves at Grandin Pond. This is phase 3 of the Arbors development at Grandin and Stryker Road. And then also there's the annexation rezoning for Adams Orr Road. So that's the first step, and that'll come back to you guys for the final step after the planning commission. Yeah, Amy's going to be out at a conference next week, I think 3 days, for a software vendor conference they have. Chad has been continues to go getting knee deep in all the property maintenance and zoning issues. So we're going to keep him going. So yeah, that's about it. Yep, that's all I got.
Okay. Harry, our Public Works Director. Did you want to say anything more? Okay. Our Law Director, Chase Kirby.
I have nothing to report. I apologize for being absent 2 weeks ago. I had a trial that ran over. I'm in the midst of this trial schedule that I don't know how or why I did this to myself. Another trial today, that after October, I will be able to breathe a little better than I am currently. But yeah, if anybody needs anything, you know where to find me.
You have done some work. Tell them about the ordinance we're working on for them.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this maybe a month ago or so. I am drawing upon other municipalities for that e-scooter issue that was identified, and I'm gonna have an ordinance to present to council in good time.
Thank you. You're not Sergeant Adams, but you are Patrick O'Brien. Hey, I got that right. Do you have anything you'd like to report or say?
No, Sergeant Adams didn't have much, anything to push down the name. There's a lot of new faces with the sheriff's office in South Lebanon. Some are already leaving, and we're gonna get new faces.
Oh, goodness.
I'm down here now, Deputy Hale is down here, he's been here before. Deputy Kennedy, he's a new hire, he's getting off FTO, he's with Township PD for us, and now he's back with us. Deputy Lansdale actually lives right across the street there, and he's down here now. Nothing really, loving it.
Well, welcome. And we're happy to have you here. And if you need anything, I know that everybody on this council would agree that you have our full support and backing. Thank you. Councilmember Spicer.
Nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Councilmember Fetter.
Yes, events committee, next Thursday, we'll start, I texted Bella at 6:30. Yeah, that way, planning and zoning, if you're in that one, you can just hop over to us when you finish. And, but that, she just started a new job today, and her schedule is tight. So.
Is that the 24th?
Yes, a week
Okay.
from today.
Got it.
So, basically, we need her there.
Yeah.
So,
23rd, I'm sorry.
yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Carmack.
I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Councilmember Harrison.
I don't have anything to add, but thank everybody for
Your
all
mic's
the-
not on.
Jerry's on.
Anyway, I don't have anything to add, but thank you, everybody, and welcome aboard.
Yes.
That's it.
Councilmember Harrison, Harrison. Allen.
Went down here.
I'm getting down.
Nothing to report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Combs. I know this
Nothing
is a
to
test.
report.
Thank you all, and I need a motion to adjourn.
Went down, a motion to adjourn.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion, meeting adjourned.